Hi, thank you for watching Dig into China. I'm Dong Xiong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Today, I want to discuss a significant event that has stirred extensive discussions on Chinese social media. What event am I referring to? It involves Xi Jinping, who currently wields unquestionable power and nobody dares to obstruct his endeavors. However, there is a specific matter of utmost importance to Xi Jinping that is facing resistance. What makes it even more challenging is that this resistance is not a natural obstacle, but rather a man-made one. If it were caused by a natural disaster, Xi Jinping might find it more tolerable. Yet, he is now confronted with opposition created by people, which has brought him to a standstill. Despite Xi Jinping's relentless efforts, his cherished plan remains unaccomplished, even with the ruthless Cai Qi assigned to oversee it. This event provides valuable insights into the leadership system under Xi Jinping's rule and sheds light in his true authority and credibility. It's crucial for us to comprehend the significance of this event. What is this event all about? It revolves around Xi Jinping's personal project, the Xiong'an New Area, which aims to ease the pressure on Beijing and provide a more spacious and comfortable living environment for Xi Jinping himself. To achieve this, Xi Jinping has implemented a two-step approach. Firstly, he initiated the removal of the low-end population from Beijing, resulting in over 200,000 residents being forced to leave under the leadership of Cai Qi, the Beijing Municipal Party Secretary. Secondly, Xi Jinping plans to clear out the mid to low-end institutions, effectively leading to the wholesale eviction of the low-end population as well. What are the mid to low-end institutions? Besides some less significant state-owned enterprise headquarters, there are 4 universities that have caught Xi Jinping's attention. These 4 universities are Forestry University, Beijing University of Science and Technology, North China University of Transportation, and a Geological University. These institutions are not as prestigious as others in today's Chinese society, and they have relatively weaker influence compared to top-tier universities like Peking University, Tsinghua University, and Beihang University. Therefore, in Xi Jinping's perspective, they are considered mid to low-end institutions, and he has targeted them for relocating to the Xiong'an New Area. However, these 4 universities have staunchly resisted the move. This year, Xi Jinping visited Xiong'an specifically to hold a meeting and even reprimanded the Premier Li Qiang for the lack of progress in relocating by the State Council. Following Xi Jinping's request, Cai Qi, the overseer of the plan, personally convened a supervisory meeting in Beijing to urge these designated institutions to move to Xiong'an as soon as possible. However, after more than 2 months since Cai Qi's meeting, what progress has been made? In mid-July, information surfaced on social media indicating that all 4 universities have refused to relocate and have officially stated their refusal. This situation is rather perplexing. Despite Xi Jinping's strong emphasis and Cai Qi's diligent supervision, why are these 4 universities bold enough to resist and refuse compliance? Some official Chinese media outlets have taken a somewhat casual approach and interviewed the universities. North China University of Transportation responded by stating they haven't received specific policies, leaving them uncertain about relocating. Beijing University of Science and Technology claimed they have not officially announced the relocation plans, dismissing the talk as speculation. China University of Geoscience further added that the media reports about the universities leading the relocating are just the media's perspective. They have their own plans and firmly denied any intention to relocate. Beijing Forestry University declined to respond to the media's interview request. So, are these 4 universities relocating to Xiong'an or not? It's not clear-cut, but the official Xiong'an website still mentions the first batch of 4 Beijing universities relocating as a whole. Indeed, the official position is unequivocal, and Xi Jinping is actively pushing for relocation while expressing discontent over the slow progress. He went as far as providing examples of his frustration, highlighting cases where certain units claimed to relocate but later set up branches offices in Beijing, effectively returning to their original location. Additionally, some units established a branch office in Xiong'an while keeping their main headquarters in Beijing. These situations have left Xi Jinping visibly frustrated. We will now examine why Xi Jinping, with his absolute power, is facing challenges in achieving the relocation task. While variations in relocation speed are understandable, the resistance to relocation in China raises questions. How could this occur in today's China? Let's explore the underlying reasons behind this phenomenon. The Xiong'an New Area Plan established by Xi Jinping faces challenges due to its lack of credibility and a solid foundation. For example, Beijing Forestry University might prefer invitations from other provincial capitals over moving to Xiong'an, which is situated near Baiyangdian Lake wetland. Xi Jinping unilaterally developed his plan without consulting the affected universities, leading to their objections. With numerous universities in Beijing, distinguishing between low-end and high-end institutions becomes difficult. The specific targeting of these 4 universities for relocating raises questions, as they are not centrally located in Beijing nor situated in remote areas. Beijing University of Science and Technology, surrounded by non-relocating universities, finds the situation perplexing. Overall, Xi Jinping's Xiong'an plan lacks transparency and convincing rationale. Furthermore, unlike clearing low-end populations with clear criteria like lacking household registration and engaging in labor-intensive work, Xi Jinping faces difficulties in providing publicly transparent criteria for designating these 4 universities as low-end institutions. It's worth noting that the steel, railway, forestry, and geology universities are foundational institutions in China that have made significant contributions to the country's development. Even former Premier Wen Jiabao graduated from the Geological University, highlighting their importance. However, they are being targeted for relocation. In contrast, party schools and party youth academies are not subject to relocation, and the prestigious institutions like the People's University of China are unaffected. The lack of transparency and fairness in the relocation criteria raises questions. Although Xi Jinping's Xiong'an plan is aimed at alleviating the capital's functions, how it applies to universities remains unclear other than Xi does not like these institutions. Thirdly, this is also a crucial aspect of our analysis. Xi Jinping seldom involves himself personally in matters. He generally issues broad directives and instructions. In the last decade, I can recall 4 instances where he took direct action. Firstly, in 2014, during the property market challenges and the need to reduce real estate inventory, Xi Jinping personally led the campaign, and it proved successful. The second instance was during the stock market crash, when Xi Jinping sought to expose the manipulators behind the financial turmoil and oversaw the investigation himself. The third matter he personally supervised was the crackdown on technology companies, with a particular focus on the regulatory storm targeting Alibaba founder Jack Ma. Initially, some departments hesitated to act against Jack Ma, but Xi Jinping repeatedly urged them to act decisively, leading to eventual action being taken. The fourth instance is the current relocation to Xiong'an, where Xi Jinping has unusually referred to various tactics of fake relocations. This matter has been a source of great concern for Xi Jinping. In the past 3 instances, whenever Xi Jinping personally intervened, there were immediate results. However, the relocation to Xiong'an and the task of clearing out the mid to low-end institutions have encountered unexpected resistance. As civil servants who belong to the Communist Party, it's their responsibility to comply with directives. The reasons behind this resistance are puzzling. Why are they not following Xi Jinping's orders? Despite the threat of removal, the issue remains unresolved. I believe there are 3 main reasons for this. The first aspect is the previous strategy of driving out the low-end population in Beijing cannot be simply replicated for clearing mid to low-end institutions. Cai Qi gained recognition for his approach, which involved a daring and aggressive spirit to remove the low-end population. This approach was effective because the low-end population lacked a platform to voice their concerns and had no choice but to endure oppression. However, the same method may not yield the desired results when applied to mid to low-end institutions, as they have more avenues to express their objections and resistance. During that time, Cai Qi promoted a bold and aggressive strategy that involved extreme measures and was considered successful. His approach included setting fire to the houses where the low-end population lived and then using fire safety concerns as a pretext to drive them away. This approach not only affected the markets where the low-end population gathered, but also led to large fires in their residential buildings. Utilizing these incidents, more than 200,000 low-end residents were compelled to leave Beijing. However, if the same approach were to be used for the 4 universities, it would likely necessitate the involvement of China's military, with potential bomb attacks and demolitions due to the large campuses of these institutions. Therefore, the fire-setting strategy would not be feasible in this scenario. Fourthly, why is Xi Jinping tolerating the resistance from these 4 universities against relocation? Normally in China, if Xi Jinping wants something done and faces opposition, he might resort to deploying forceful measures. So why does he repeatedly allow this resistance to continue? The answer lies in Xi Jinping's vulnerabilities. When these 4 universities resisted the relocation order, they collectively presented a significant risk to Xi Jinping. What is this risk? If he forcefully compels these universities to relocate, it could potentially ignite a democratic movement akin to the events of the Tiananmen Square in 1989. It might lead tens of thousands of faculties and students from these 4 universities to take to the streets in protest. Given the current economic challenges and the prevailing pessimistic social sentiments in China, if tens of thousands of university students marched, it could become a nightmare for Xi Jinping. This is the genuine reason why, despite his overwhelming power and authority, Xi Jinping refrains from resorting to coercive measures against the 4 universities, resisting relocation. It reveals his vulnerability. He genuinely fears triggering a second Tiananmen Square incident through his actions in Xiong'an. Therefore, through the above analysis, the resistance of these 4 Beijing universities against relocation fundamentally reflects the restraining influence of China's young students on Xi Jinping. He remains wary of the potential for young people to stage a rebellion, giving them some power to make Xi Jinping cautious. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.